Xbox just dropped an update regarding their AI copilot in gaming. Now, we really didn't care too much about AI in gaming, so we skipped that altogether. But they do drop some information regarding the latest in cloud gaming. And this includes their new official name for the service? Let's check it out.
A great segue to talk a little bit about our next topic, which Jason, I think you're going to be in the hot seat for this one. Xbox Play Anywhere updates. Really exciting feature. One of my favorite features at Xbox currently, as someone who is a multi-device user. And like you said, Fatima, like more and more people are gaming on more devices. But let's dive into it, Jason. Tell me about some of the stuff coming.
Yeah, so the team's really dedicated to providing one of the largest catalogs of games that are really designed around Xbox Play Anywhere. And when we first launched in 2015, it was one of the first steps that we took to really recognize that people are playing across multiple devices. And when you really think about like modern gamers, people that are used to Spotify or Netflix and whatnot, it's this notion of I want my library of games to come along with me wherever I go. And so when we launched it, this was really that first recognition of player behaviors are changing. And so when you buy the game on, say, your console or your PC, the game and the DLC is accessible to you on your console, on your PC, on gaming handhelds where it's supported. And even as we're starting to expand more and more into the cloud, I can now stream that game from anywhere. Not only is it about being able to play the game across multiple screens, it's really about ensuring that my progress moves forward with me. There's nothing more frustrating than maybe you start a game on your console and then you go launch the game on a PC and it's like, welcome new player. And it's like, wait, I already have like a level 40 character, or I've already gone through multiple levels, or I'm like hours deep into the lore. Like, I want my game progress to move across screens with me. Yeah. So whether that's my game saves, whether that's leaderboards, that's achievements, it's really about making sure that the library moves with me anywhere that I want to go. And not only is it good for players, it's also good for developers as well. Because when we look at data.
So what do you guys think about the new name for it, for Xbox Cloud?
Well,
Xbox Play Anywhere.
It's better than Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta.
Yeah, that it is.
I think
so does this mean that it's out of beta? That's a good point.
We have also not really ever called it Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta. We just call it xCloud, and everyone knows what we're talking about because that is a mouthful.
Well, I mean, it was Project xCloud. That was like the alpha term.
Yeah, and it's a better name than the current name.
And the current name.
I was laughing at this.
Gaming Beta, but now it's Xbox Play Anywhere. Is that official now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like it the way he repeated it over and over again.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't really roll off the tongue, though. It's like, it's not as, cool sounding as some of the other ones.
It's not, but it
doesn't have anything to do with the cloud. You notice that? It's not necessarily cloud-based because no one knows what the cloud is.
Yeah.
Right.
For titles that are Xbox Play Anywhere enabled, these titles get 20% more gameplay because it's more flexible, because I can play on the go. Yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm
like
playing
an upside down Albert Einstein.
What was that?
I said he looks like an upside down Albert Einstein.
Oh my gosh.
He had the CC Top beard.
Yeah, that beard is something else, man.
Yeah,
that's a scoop catcher for you.
Hey, man, that's
the dynasty level.
I can't knock it, man. That man wears it proud.
Oh, he sure does.
Can't make fun of it. Got to respect it.
Started that on my handheld when I was on a business trip. I got as far as I could, and then I got home, and then I was able to just pick up and resume exactly from where I was on my console. And it just really felt great to me. So we're excited to announce that we have more than 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games as of today. And
there's many more.
There's many more coming.
Okay.
1,000. That's amazing.
It might be true, but they're also including Xbox Game Pass. So it's kind of deceiving at the same time. I mean, let's take a look at if you want to own the game, right? If you want to own the game, they have a whole list here of everything that you can purchase.
Does it have a count?
We can count them right now.
152?
Yeah. You can own your own games, but right now they only have 152 of those.
Well, also, too, you got to make a point that if you notice, some of them are duplicates. They're just on different consoles.
Yes, you're right. And that's something I want to talk about as well. It's like do they count the games that are populated on here multiple times because they have different versions? Like you have the Division 2, and then you have the Ultimate version.
Yeah,
three different versions here. This is DLC. This includes a DLC.
Yeah.
So does this count as 3 games for them? I sure hope not, because I mean, good God!
Look at that. Yeah, the Final Fantasy. Yeah.
You know, that's not
Yeah,
fair.
we are definitely double counting. So definitely not 152,
That's not
boys.
fair. I mean, it's got four different versions of Hitman: World of Assassination, 2 different versions of Hogwarts, and one of them is a compatibility issue. Like one's for the Series SX, and the other one's for the Xbox One.
And I went on a vacation, I think last week, and I was so excited for this vacation. I planned it 6 months ago, and legitimately the last week leading up to it, I was stressed because I was so obsessed with Avowed. And I was like, I'm gonna have to leave this game to go hang out with my friends in a wonderful place.
Let me tell you, I have had multiple people, some of them might be in the room, who have told me they used to travel with their consoles in their backpacks.
Oh, totally. Totally, definitely. I mean,
Remember those days?
Sure. I remember LAN party days.
LAN parties, man.
I miss LAN parties, man.
If it could fit in the backpack, I mean, geez.
No, it was
The
a whole
old Xbox
process.
controllers were big enough.
Oh man, the Shack controllers, man. Those were.
Controllers.
I remember playing Ninja Gaiden on my Shack controller.
Oh man.
I didn't have Shack hands, but I made do.
Yeah, I think we all did.
yeah, it's easy. It's great. Shout out Obsidian, because 1, that game, I'm a huge fan. I love Avowed, and 2, it actually saved my trip. I was playing every night when I'd go to bed.
Saved your trip, maybe not your wife's trip, is what I just heard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she wasn't too thrilled about it, but I definitely gravitate towards titles that work with Play Anywhere for that reason, because like you, I travel a lot for work, and it's just handy to be able to have that with me. Or Balatro is another great example. That is a great Xbox Play Anywhere title now that you can just kind of jump in. You get your decks, you have everything unlocked. It's such an improvement.
Yeah, and I think about for example, my son, he loves the Yakuza series.
Oh, nice.
So the fact that he can play in his room, he can play in the console in the living room. If he's on the go and I let him borrow one of my handhelds, he's able to bring that along with him. So it's just really about, making sure that for those of us who really enjoy gaming as our primary form of entertainment, just making sure that that's always available at my fingertips wherever I may be.
Super nice. And I do like that you brought up that data point of those titles see 20% more hours. Personally, just wondering what is the incentive for developers to some extent? There is a lot of benefit to doing it.
Yeah, to Fatima's point, especially as somebody who's new to kind of gaming, she shouldn't have to purchase a console or have a gaming PC. Maybe she wants to experience that on her smart TV, or maybe, a family member has a gaming handheld and she wants to be able to go do it. It's really about just providing more opportunities for play.
Or I'll tell you, or in the same room, sometimes my kids are on the screen and I'm on my laptop.
I feel like that's got to be the biggest.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of it is for travel and how much of it is just I never get my TV and I just want to play.
Yeah, I have a husband who's obsessed with sports and 2 young kids, so I never get the TV.
I do love that Xbox Play Anywhere is a core part of the
Is it
vision.
really that big of an issue? That's kind of like why Sony did their little PlayStation screen that can't work without the PlayStation in the same room, right?
Well, they want to make it compatible for everything. So I guess it's how big your family is and how many devices.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm not a family man, obviously, so I don't know how competitive it gets in a house over electronics like that.
Yeah, it can get. Oh, definitely. Especially if you're fighting over the Switch or whatever. You got 2 different games that several people want to play. Yeah, it can be a thing.
When you as an employee believe in something wholeheartedly, to march to that tenet and beat to that drum is a lot easier. And it is just maybe one of my favorite features we're working on just in general in terms of access. You just said 1,000 titles, over 1,000. We got some new ones in the pipe coming, right? What's coming up next that's going to be in there? I think we have South of Midnight, for example, Doom coming, and I think Towerborn as well.
Exactly. And we're working with the best developers all across the world. And, we're just seeing a lot of support and momentum behind Xbox Play Anywhere. So even beyond the ones that you mentioned, many more Xbox Play Anywhere titles are being added to the catalog every single month.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah, man. That's what they're calling it. Xbox Play Anywhere.
I mean, it's in the title too.
Yeah, it's in the title. So that's the name.
Let me ask you what y'all think too, though, because I keep hearing them talking about like, you know, it's 1,000+ games that's going to be on here, but how many of these games are people actually like excited to play?
Well,
It's like,
I know.
you know, it's like a lot of these
And I
is
was
like,
gonna-
come on, man.
The announcement that I want to hear is like, oh, we're working with Rockstar to get the next game, the next
Right.
GTA on the cloud, so you can play it anywhere.
Right.
You know, I want that announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're working with the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like 1,000+ games just kind of sounds kind of padded.
It is,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's like they didn't even like we just counted how many games you can actually purchase.
Mm-hmm.
You're not giving us like any incentive to really go Xbox Play Anywhere with the
Yeah.
games we really want.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, you know, everybody's into what they're into. There's nothing wrong with that. But like when you really look at like the most popular games out here that you see millions of players and things like that, are those games ready and available? Which, you know, they had Call of Duty that was on there last year. That was a big thing. But like still, like with this 1,000+ games and keep repeating that, you know,
Yeah.
how many of those are things that people really actively want to play?
Yeah, and here's the thing: it's like, sure, you have this number, but it has to be. It's part of Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
What if I just want to play the game I own? There's plenty of people who buy a ton of these games on the store, and they can't play it on the cloud because it's not available.
It's not available.
What if we had all the free-to-play games here, and all you need to do is have Xbox Game Pass to play them, but they were all here. I mean, they started with Genshin Impact, right?
Right.
Because Genshin Impact is free, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but you do need Game Pass to actually play them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put everything else here. I mean, that would only make sense. And add some more. Maybe we have some more coming down the pipeline. Who knows, though?
Really cool, man. When we talk about playing on other devices, I think we should talk a little bit about updates coming to cloud gaming, because that's obviously a huge part of our community and player base. So let's talk about that. What is next for cloud gaming, Jason?
Yeah, so cloud gaming just continues to grow exponentially. It's the fastest growing part of how people choose to play with Xbox. For a lot of players, it might actually be the first and the only way they actually experience Xbox.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's glad, like I've said, it's really good to see that they're doubling down on, you know, with cloud gaming and showing that it's like the widest growing sector of gaming. And so here now, you know, it was a concern at one point, like, you know, do these companies really care about cloud? And that just tells us right there, they recognize it. And so they're putting things in place to make it that much more popular.
They were more than doubling down.
The feed is dragging. It seems like it's just dragging to me.
Yeah.
As soon as they went through with the Activision purchase, that's when you knew they were doubling down. Like, you don't make that purchase and not go full hog.
For sure.
They're going to try to take this out now.
You know, whether they're directly integrated into a smart TV, or maybe they have a laptop that is not powerful enough to play the game that they want to play natively, just being able to have that game accessible to me via the cloud. Once again, it's just really about providing more opportunities for people to play.
So with that in mind, new devices coming?
Just at CES earlier this year, we announced our upcoming partnership with LG. And this is in addition to, for example, when we released on Amazon Fire TV last fall. And we have our existing partnership with Samsung in the smart TV space. So it's really about now providing access to Xbox on more than 200 million devices all around the world. And it's going to really take advantage of this flexibility that we're building into the ecosystem.
Love it. And I love that, again, like, this just goes hand in hand with Play Anywhere. The vision is coming together. It's really great to see as a fan and someone who works here. Beyond cloud gaming and new devices, like, I know that team has rolled out some other great updates. What can players expect to see?
Yeah, one of the features that we released last fall was the ability to stream your own games, even for games that are outside of the Game Pass subscription. And it's just been hugely well received. We launched with more than 50 games initially, and we've added more than 20 games since the initial launch. Everything from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, like one of the biggest games out there right now.
Huge.
And then I think about my son who loves Subnautica. So the fact that Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero are available in this new way is just hugely awesome for players anywhere. Why do anything else other than play games whenever you can?
That's
Well, that matches up with our count pretty well.
I wonder how many people are actually doing this, you know? Yeah, you said it's hugely popular. It's 152. And that
Right. He
includes-
said 50 plus 20, which sounds closer to what the real number is after we get rid of all the doubles.
Yes, he said 20. So
He
right
said
now
50 plus 20.
70.
Yeah. So I think 70 matches up with our count pretty well.
Hmm.
So he didn't pad his count there with doubles.
No, he did not.
I do want to call out one game on this because I saw the list. Slime Rancher 2.
Oh,
This
okay.
is one of my wife's favorite games. If you're a fan of Stardew, Slime Rancher might be
I
up
am
your
making a
alley.
note.
Write that down. Make a note. You might dig that game. It's definitely one of my wife's decompression games. So
Oh,
yeah, would
perfect.
shout that one out. And I saw Worms on here as well.
Mhm.
I feel like Worms is a great one because it's like that's a great one to kill time when you're on the go. If you like, even just jump in with some friends and just play around because Worms is maybe one of the best party games of all time.
Oh,
Like that's
nice.
up there for me with just like Fusion Frenzy and stuff of just like if you got friends in a room you don't know what to play,
I'm taking
boot
notes.
up Worms.
And I also think about like Cult of the Lamb is a great example.
Oh, yeah.
Like that has been in my backlog for many, many months. And now just to have the ability to play that wherever I am on the go, like it's super powerful. So, you
Yeah.
know, I, like all gamers, have a long backlog of games that I have access to or I've purchased that I haven't had a chance to play yet. So just being able to, you know, find those moments in your day-to-day life and being able to play them, super powerful.
Super cool. Insider's testing this right now.
Yeah, so this is available now, and then very soon this is actually going to be available on the console itself.
Awesome. Anything else coming that you could share with us?
We have so much in development. You know, we're definitely excited for GDC next week, where we'll start sharing more information there. But we have a whole host of features that we'll be talking about later this year, especially as we start approaching holiday next of this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what do you guys think? Do you like the new official name, Xbox Play Anywhere? Also, were these sufficient updates for you? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this cloud chat on Xbox Cloud Gaming, Xbox Play Anywhere, give us a like. Also, make sure to join as a member of the channel or join our Patreon and our Discord in links below. And above all else, make sure to subscribe to keep it locked right here at the only place we can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle.